I'm Landon. I graduated in 2024. So I came to LPO because the SHS just wasn't working out for me. The teachers didn't have enough time for me. I wasn't learning, I didn't feel like, and my classes were too full. The teachers just couldn't get to me when I needed help, and I didn't feel like I was gonna make it there. I didn't feel like I was gonna get through high school at that school. And so I moved over to the LPO to try and get the help I needed to make me want to go back to school. Well, when I showed up at LPO, the teachers were really nice to me. I mean, calling them by their names instead of their first name instead of their last name was huge for me because it made me feel like I could know them on a more personal level, and they were actually going to care for each and every student there. The school was significantly smaller with maybe a little over 100 students when I graduated versus the thousands at SHS, and just the hallways and in between classes were packed at SHS. It was hard to get to your classes on time, and then you're getting in trouble because you're late, but it's almost out of your control, and you're doing the best you can, but then you get to LPO and it's like people are working together, people are trying to help each other get to classes and pointing things out for each other, and each and every teacher, even if you didn't ever have them, would still help you out and care about you, and you could always talk to any of them. My biggest takeaway from the LPO would have been that I felt like I wanted to go to school again. I felt like I actually wanted to try in my classes, and when I was at the SHS, I didn't have the motivation to try. I was failing classes every year multiple times, and then I got to the LPO and my grades started improving almost instantly, and the teachers, like I said, they would give me the help I needed when I asked for it. And not even just the teachers, even Belinda in the office would help me. If I had to go down there and I needed something, anything, if you needed a snack, if you needed this or that, she would always help you out, or anyone else who was in there. They always made sure you were taken care of, whether it had something to do with school or not. Moving the program to the portables, I think, would be just not the best move entirely for that school, because it's already small as is, and making it smaller and more compact is not going to help the way it runs and functions. I imagine that it would cut down the amount of teachers, and I imagine it would also cut down the amount of students available to be there. And I think there's a lot of people I know of, my friends, that could really use a school like that, or could have used a school like that to help them succeed and graduate. Like I said, I didn't think I would graduate or make it through school at all when I was going to the SHS, and it was rough. Every day I woke up stressed out, and I couldn't make it to my classes on time. Like, I was getting in trouble all the time, failing classes left and right. So I think that building is extremely important, because this is just an example from my job. My chef that I work for or under at work went to that school a long time ago when it was first being brought up. He said in the 80s or something like that. And it's just hugely important because that school has been built up so much by the students, by the staff, and like everyone has worked together to make that school feel more like a home than a school and a place that you have to go. It's not a place you have to go, it's a place you want to go. Yeah, he said that he basically was like one of the first groups of kids that went there, and that they all like signed their names on the wall and stuff like that, and they kind of like built that school by hand, like added on to it as they felt, to make it feel more like a home than like a chore. It's very welcoming, and the park being right there is extremely helpful, because on your lunch break you can go play basketball, or Super One is right across the street too. You can go and buy yourself lunch, and that's another thing. If you needed lunch money or anything like that, whether it was getting lunch from school, or usually they would just let you get a free lunch from school, but I'm sure there were teachers that would hook you up with $5 to go pick up a wrap or something from Super One if you really wanted. I think the LPO helped shape me to be a better person, and it helped me succeed more outside of school. I felt more motivated not only in school but also at home to do better for the people around me and to make them more proud. And my mom is a great example of that. She was extremely happy with me because I was getting way better grades, and I was being nicer to people. I mean, I had pretty bad anger issues when I was at the SHS, and the LPO kind of helped me calm that down a lot. I work at Baxter's on Cedar as a sous chef. Stop by Baxter's and try the food.